Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings on planet Earth. How are you doing today? My day started off quite well, actually. It's rather delicious, actually. There's a gentleman called Jack Royston. Some of you may already be familiar with that name. I'm using Graham's phone here. I do believe that Mr. Royston, who works for Newsweek, wrote an article about Yankee Wally. Now, this video is not about Wally, all right? This is just an example. Royston. I'll just double check this. He has released not one but two articles this morning about Meghan and Harry. Oh yes, here we go. Yes, Jack Royston. Yes, he has written critical articles about Wally back in the day, you know, like a long time ago, wasn't it? Not even a year. Basically saying she's a troll. It was the theory there were only about 50 people on planet Earth who were creating Twitter accounts, YouTube accounts that were generating hatred towards poor innocent Meghan, Christopher Boozy, people like that, Ellie Hall, right? Jack Royston was one of the champions. He was one of the puff pieces. Newsweek. I'm going to put links to all three articles in the description of this video. His critical article of Yankee Wally and his two articles that he's released today. And then you can go and read them for yourselves. But I'll just get the headlines up. So the one headline about Yankee Wally was Meghan Markle troll compared Princess Diana's Middle Eastern boyfriend to ape. So I'll put a link in the description to that. And also, this was the first one I read this morning. The more Prince Harry and Meghan Markle say, the less Americans like them. How delicious is that? But I'm going to save the best one for last. And this is according to an exclusive poll for Newsweek. For Newsweek, right? And the best headline, and this one's going to sting Meghan. Meghan Markle, this again is in Newsweek, Jack Royston, exclusive poll for Newsweek. Meghan Markle is less popular in US than Queen Camilla. Who would have thought, who would have seen that one coming? Camilla, who's been vilified for years. She's been the villain of the piece in many people's opinions for years and years and years and years and years. And the even more delicious thing is no one's done this to Harry and Meghan except they themselves. Thanks to his book, which has been largely seen as very spiteful and inappropriate, and their Netflix show, which again, pretty spiteful, inappropriate. Thanks to their own handiwork, they have revealed themselves to the United States of America, and it turns out that Americans are not stupid, which we've all known all along. People are people, whereas there have been some people in, I don't know, royal correspondents in the UK and media people. I'll just turn that because I think the light keeps going bright and dim. Who seem to think, you know, Americans are gullible, that Americans would go, oh, we just love Meghan because Meghan's American. What? Why would that be the case? Why would that be? Harry's British, but trust me, there's a lot of Brits don't love Harry. Don't work like that, does it? Do you want to come in, give your input on this? You've never heard of Jack Royston before?
No, I haven't.
You've heard me talk of Ellie Hall and Christopher Boozy, Omid Scobie. I mean, I don't think this could sting Meghan anymore if Omid Scobie himself tweeted or wrote an article saying, I don't like Meghan Markle, I think she's quite spiteful and mean and not nice.
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think King Charles III, should Harry and Meghan have the audacity and the gall to rock up on British shores, should be sent to the Tower of London, because Sir Thomas More's old cell is vacant and they can reside there without the internet or the use of a telephone.
You don't think that's a little
I'm not suggesting that they have their heads chopped off or anything, for goodness sake, we're not living in the Dark Ages, but I think they should reside there until the King sees fit to let them out.
Well,
history in the making. Harry always wanted to be famous.
Yeah, he's famous, all right. I mean, my prediction is, and that's going to be the name of this video, is that this is the downhill. Here we go, and it's going to be like, yeah, you'll see it now. If you read that Royston Newsweek article, it's harsh. He even says, I'm not going to read it out because, you know, these sort of cancel people, they're very vengeful, aren't they? And copyright strike, destroy, drag them out into the street, set fire to them, stamp on them until they're dead, you know, all that. People who don't like forgiveness, who like to bear grudges. Oh, just brings me to one small niggle that I got from a couple of sugars on, I think it was my last video, where I said I don't like Meghan and Harry because they won't forgive. I never said they had to accept Jeremy Clarkson's apology. What I said was, it's their free choice. They can accept it or reject it. That is up to them. That's their free speech. That's their freedom. But when they choose to reject Jeremy's apology, they just advertise to the world, we're a couple of meanies, we're spiteful, we're bullying. And by the way, sugars, you're not going to win me over calling me Karen and other names like that and racist, la 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 la. Because, read that Jack Royston article. He says, once upon a time, we actually thought she might make a candidate for the Democrats. I mean, to me, that's always been laughable. My mother was a politician on, you know, quite a small level. It was local council. She was the leader of East Sussex County Council and the chairman at one point. And I don't know how that woman took the criticism she did. My mother had the skin of a rhinoceros. She could take so much... I mean, my mother, you remember my mum, you couldn't get through to her. I'm not sure I ever saw her cry. Thin-skinned Markle, who takes offence at the slightest thing. Enter politics, do me a favour. She would kill herself if she went into that game. Anyway, Newsweek concede that perhaps she's not candidate material. And the other part that really made me laugh was Royston says, even the big guns at CNN are beginning to see she's not liked. People don't think she's honest. Oh no, shock, horror. So it wasn't because she's black, after all along. It wasn't a racist. Because Harry's now said, well, they didn't say that and they didn't imply that. So we're not all racists after all. I've actually been looking up CBS, is it? Or all these American news work. Michelle Obama commenting. The way Michelle Obama translated what Meghan was saying on Oprah apparently was it was an allegation of racism. So we're in good company there, you know. We're all stupid like Michelle and CNN and Oprah and all the other people who took those comments to imply racism. My question to sugars, who now say, Harry said it wasn't implying racism, then what was it implying? Just comment below, what was it? What was it? Because I can't figure it out. Your baby's skin might be too brown. Sexism? I don't know. What kind of prejudice could it be if it's not racism?
Well, if you had ginger hair, I might have said to you, you know, when the baby had ginger hair?
Well, that's gingerist.
Gingerist.
Yeah, I've just made up a word there. See what I did there? I'm cleverer than Meghan Markle. I can make up words too.
I just add one more thing to my comments, which I think...
You were only joking, by the way, because sugars will take it literally and they'll say, white privileged man says put Meghan in the Tower of London, blah, blah, blah. And
I did say that. And I think they should open Tracy's Gate, especially for the pair of them, to welcome them in that way. Because that hasn't been open for a long time.
Could you just clarify for my channel's sake that you were joking?
It is amusement. This is all for what was the thing we put at the beginning?
Fair use and fair dealing.
Yeah. It's all for humour.
It's just British humour. It's just British humour. Nobody really wants to put Meghan and Harry in the Tower of London. He's only joking. This is what it's come to. We have to explain this. Anyway, my prediction is the story's going to end the same way that the story has always ended. Because I remember seeing her on the engagement interview and straight away I thought, I don't think she's very nice. But a lot of Brits, a lot of them thought she was. Even when Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr. came out and said, be warned, she's not that nice, you know. We've known her for a long time. I saw the comments in the Daily Mail. They were largely against Samantha Markle, against the Markles, what trash they thought they were, how lovely they thought Meghan were. You can go on the Daily Mail comments, highest rated, lowest rated. And the lowest rated ones were people like me saying, I'm not sure about her. And the highest rated ones on many of the articles, and that was the case for about a year. And it really frustrated the hell out of me, because I thought, why can't anybody else see what I'm seeing? And then little bit by little bit, the British public went, I think maybe the Markles had a point, she's not very nice. So they run away to America, and she's really popular, and everybody's on her side, and the US is just getting to that point going, I'm not sure she's very nice. And I believe this is what's happened to Markle wherever she goes, because she will not address the problem, which is her own behaviour. Yeah. The refusal to accept Jeremy's apology, that just advertises and displays spite, vengeful, mean.
Uses apology as a weapon against him.
Yeah, literally, a stick to beat him with.
Classic
there's
narcissist.
Piers Morgan as well. There's Sharon Osbourne. I mean, Piers lost his job because he said he didn't believe her. Oh, guess what? Shocker. Turns out she's a bit of a liar. So he was right, but he didn't get his job back, did he?
And what would happen if Piers had apologised to her?
Oh,
I bet she wouldn't have accepted it.
Because he refused to apologise, and good for Piers Morgan. Absolutely. And I agree with Dan Wootton and all of you that have commented as well, that she'll never accept an apology, and that the last thing the royal family should do is apologise. And what for anyway? What did they do wrong in the first place? So my prediction is, this will just continue. The only reason that this chick has ridden high is because she bagged Princess Diana's youngest son and married into the British royal family, and she got lucky. She got lucky on that one. It doesn't get any higher than that, and it's all downhill from here.
So how come she hasn't been in the Hollywood blockbuster films recently?
I don't think Hollywood want to touch her. Because they might look at her sideways or offend her, and then she'll demand an apology, and then she'll refuse to accept the apology until their Hollywood career is destroyed. That's
loads of A-listers get dumped. Loads of them. All kinds of A-listers that people go, no, it will never work again. There's a whole list of them. You can go on YouTube and look.
It does happen.
And I don't think Markle's ever made it to be an A-lister, has she?
It's something that A-listers are painfully aware of. Firstly, it took them such a lot to get there in the first place, and then they've got to be careful who they allow into there. She was a
supporting actress, wasn't she, in the suit?
She was on a cable show that I never watched and never heard of.
She wasn't even the star of the show, she was just a supporting act.
I know, I actually did go through Suits. I went through about 3 seasons of it, not watching it, I just used the skip button to look for the bits where she was in, and she was in like 1 minute. 1 minute in each episode.
The only thing I've seen her in that was actually really good was Castle. Wasn't she a serial killer?
Oh yeah, she played a fairy tale princess or something. Yeah, look it up. Yeah, or Beverly Hills 90210. I don't think you've seen that one, have you?
No.
She was doing a sexual favour to a man in a car.
She stuck her head up in the window.
Yeah.
I did see that.
I'm not going to go into the detail of that because I think it's quite.
I never watched that show though.
Anyway, so that is my prediction. It is all downhill from now. Oh, and Jack Royston, by the way, lashings of apologies to Yankee Wally and other people that you called trolls. Now you're beginning to discover.
She was telling the truth all along, and you helped put her down.
You and others like you. And that also reminds me, Ellie Hall, months ago I said to you, what if it turns out in the end that Meghan isn't very nice, and that you have been helping and enabling someone who's going to turn out not to be very nice? What if the bullying allegations, the headlines come back? What if there are videos out there of her yelling at some poor young intern or underpaid servant? Are you going to be right there by her side, Ellie Hall, Chris Boozy, Omid Scobie, and all the others? Are you going to stand by her? Are you? Or will you want to cancel her? And will people forgive her? Or will they remember the fact that she's actually quite vengeful and refuses to accept anybody else's apology, such as her, I don't know, her own father, who just harmlessly tried to improve his image just slightly by having a few pictures taken? I mean, that's where I came in on it and thought, wow, what a piece of work she is. Anyway, as always, have a fabulous day and enjoy reading the articles. They're delicious.